Hello everybody, how are we doing? All good? Yes, love that. Happy International Women's Day to everybody. Big shout out to that. Okay, cool. So, my name is Sarah. I also go by Sarah Bless. I am here today to present my project, How to Hear Yourself. Cool, next slide, thank you. So, I've already said a little bit. My name is Sarah. I'm a rapper, singer and music producer with over 10 years of experience in music. I'm trained in music production and I've delivered workshops for girls and women in response to the gender imbalance in music production and engineering roles for the past 3 years at Master Studios in town. Alongside my artistic practice, I work as a youth worker and a creative facilitator. My work sits at the intersection of music, emotional literacy and empowerment. Big on empowerment. Cool. So what is How to Hear Yourself? How to Hear Yourself is a creative practice. It helps people reconnect with themselves through rap, creative writing, music production, and deep listening. It supports emotional literacy, confidence, and self-expression in a way that is accessible and empowering. There's that key word again. Cool, so why does this exist? Many people struggle to identify and articulate their emotions, to trust their own voice, and feel confident expressing themselves creatively. Creative spaces can feel intimidating, gatekept, or unsafe in the music industry, and it remains structurally unequal. Women, trans, and non-binary people are significantly underrepresented in music production, often making up less than 5 to 6% of top-tier engineering positions. How to Hear Yourself exists to create accessible and empowering spaces where people, particularly those underrepresented in music and creative spaces, can develop both emotional confidence and creative agency. Who is this for? These workshops are open to everyone, seeking a creative way to explore self-expression and emotional awareness. They're particularly designed with women, trans, and non-binary people in mind, communities that, as we've said, remain underrepresented in music production and often feel excluded from traditional studio environments as well. Some sessions will be specifically for women, trans, non-binary participants, creating safer spaces to experiment with rap and music production without pressure or judgment. There's no wrong way to do these workshops. No previous experience is required. The focus is on exploration, confidence building, and creative agency, not performance or perfection. Cool. Okay, so the workshops I will deliver if I win this bursary. So rap and creative writing. Using rap as a tool for self-expression and emotional connection. We also use visual prompts during these sessions. If I can give these to the lovely Mia, she can give you a little bit of an introspection into those. So the point of these is to put them up in the room, people walk around the room, and it just begins that introspection where people can start looking internally and connecting with their emotions and just kind of thinking, what does this picture make me feel, etc. Rap offers an accessible format that removes barriers around correct language or spelling. These workshops encourage agency and self-trust in making creative choices. Are suitable for participants with little or no prior writing or rap experience. At the end of the workshops, we do group listening and sharing, which strengthens confidence and promotes inclusion as well. These workshops support well-being outcomes, including emotional regulation, communication, and self-awareness. All right, so we can hear a little bit of the backing track in the background. So I will talk a bit about that in a second. So, the intuitive listening and music production workshops. These focus around deep listening, intuition, and creative decision-making. Participants listen to samples and create a visual sonic map. So I provide a sample pack of different samples, they listen to them, and then they make notes on something we call a sonic map, which I will explain in the next slide. So these workshops are an introduction to free entry-level music production software. I'm a big advocate for something called BandLab, which is a free online platform. As long as you've got an email address and a phone, you can access a whole music production studio right there for free. Arranging and structuring the samples guided by feeling. The second part of the workshops, we go into arranging and structuring, referring back to our sonic map. The emphasis is on trusting instinct and building confidence. Again, it's really accessible to participants with little or no production experience. Supports well-being through introspection, exploration, and creative flow. And I think we can play a little bit of one of the tracks that one of the participants has made that has had no prior experience to music production. It's quite a funky little number, I think you'll agree. Cool. Okay, so here is said sonic map. So as you can see, it's kind of notes and all kinds of different words and phrases and colours. So during the intuitive listening part of the music production workshops, participants are encouraged to draw a sonic map. This helps give a visual representation to the internal experience of the samples. It's also a helpful tool to reflect on when arranging. If we were to do the exhibition at the end, we would be playing the backing tracks, the soundscapes, etc. that people have made, and we would have the sonic maps and also some pictures from the events as well. Cool. What a session looks like. So, initially it's arrival and grounding, welcome to the space, introductions, and settling into the space. The second part is visual prompts for introspection. So the visual prompts that somehow, probably somewhere in the room, that's all good. So essentially you walk around the room, exploring the visual prompts, meeting others. It just begins that introspection and that inner exploration. We then move on to exploring creative intuition. The rap workshops, we choose a picture, we start writing words and phrases. Any words and phrases come to mind, as I say, there's no right or wrong way to do this. The music workshops, we start intuitively listening to the sample pack and drawing the sonic maps. After that, we expand the creative vision. For the rap workshops, we find rhyming words and we work backwards. It's a bit of a different way of writing rap, but it's very accessible again. So you choose the initial words, find rhyming words, and just fill up the space beforehand, essentially. Music workshops, start arranging the samples in music software, dragging and dropping them wherever you like. People are so easy to make sort of soundscapes, etc., and beginnings of track because it's just such an accessible, beginner-friendly way of doing it, just dragging and dropping things in. At the end of the session, there is reflection and optional sharing. So both workshops encourage sharing what participants have written or arranged. The emphasis is not on a particular outcome, but on exploration. Everybody's outcome might be different. Some people may make a whole soundscape, a whole track. Some people may have just looked at the music production software and felt a little bit more confident with it. At the end of the workshops we've already done, people have expressed that they've gone home, they've felt inspired, they've carried on writing, they've wrote more rhymes they ever have in their life, or they've gone back and they've worked on beats and have sat there for hours after, which is really what we're after. So here is some pictures of some of our lovely workshops that we've done already. So there's some of the visual prompts, and here are some of the music production workshops and some of the writing workshops. Cool. Outcomes and goals. So these workshops really foster a deeper connection to inner emotions. First encounters with creativity for those who've never felt creative. I believe everybody is creative. Some people think they're not, I think they are. This is an accessible introduction to rap, writing music, and to music production. Feeling capable, expressive, and heard. Feeling empowered to continue exploring creativity independently after the workshops are finished. People will go home with an increased confidence, especially women, trans, and non-binary participants in creative spaces. Cool. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to answer any questions. Come and talk to me. I'm a pretty friendly, chirpy person. So yeah, thank you so much.